The 10 most bizarre wedding customs around the world, Part 2. If you thought weddings were simply about love and celebration, think again. In some cultures, they come with rituals so shocking they'll leave you speechless. Picture a groom banned from the bathroom for days or a bride symbolically enduring pain to prove her commitment. What might seem unimaginable to many is a reality for others. Brace yourself as we continue to explore the strangest and most surprising wedding rituals the world has to offer. Are you ready for Part 2? Let's dive in. Top 5. The Korean Groom's Soulful Test of Love. In Korea, weddings are more than just vows. They're a test of love, grit, and devotion. Among the most striking traditions is one that puts the groom in the hot seat. Or, rather, on the floor. The groom, dressed in traditional attire, lies on a mat with his legs raised, exposing the soles of his feet. Then comes the challenge. An elder, often from the bride's family, grabs a dried or frozen flounder, a symbol of strength and fertility, and begins smacking the groom's feet. But it doesn't stop at the physical trial. As the soles sting from the repeated blows, the groom must answer tough, heartfelt questions like, how much do you love the bride? How will you take care of her? And, what's your plan for building a life together? Any hesitation or unsatisfactory answers, the smacking continues until the groom proves his worth. Why such a bizarre ritual? It's deeply symbolic. The flounder represents vitality and strength, while the beating is a metaphor for the hardships of marriage. Enduring the pain shows the groom's commitment to facing challenges head-on and his readiness to protect and cherish the bride. Even though this tradition often leaves grooms with swollen, aching feet, participation isn't optional. It's seen as a necessary rite to affirm the couple's bond and ensure a strong start to their marriage. In modern times, some families use gentler tools, like wooden sticks, but the core message remains the same: marriage requires dedication, resilience, and love. Top 4. India's Ghost Marriage Tradition. In India, where tradition and spirituality deeply intertwine, an eerie yet fascinating custom persists: ghost marriages. Unlike the concept of simply honoring the deceased, these ceremonies take it a step further, celebrating a full wedding for those who have passed away, complete with rituals, attire, and family blessings. This practice, popular in places like Uttarakhand, often involves doll marriages. Here, dolls representing the deceased are dressed in traditional wedding attire and stand in for the bride and groom. Families of the departed gather, singing, dancing, and performing every aspect of a typical wedding ceremony. The event is not a quiet mourning but a vibrant celebration. But why go to such lengths? In Hinduism, and many Indian religious beliefs, death is not the end. It is a transition to another existence, influenced by the life one led and the treatment of their remains. For young people who passed away unmarried, their families believe arranging a wedding brings peace to their souls and secures happiness in the next life. In this deeply spiritual tradition, families seek to ensure the deceased will not feel alone in the afterlife. They hope the marriage ritual will foster a sense of completeness, providing their loved ones with the companionship they missed in life. These ceremonies are meticulously planned, often waiting until the deceased would have reached adulthood. Though it may seem macabre, the event is a profound expression of love and remembrance. Families come together not to grieve but to celebrate the lives of their lost loved ones. This hauntingly beautiful tradition highlights the lengths families will go to honor their departed. It's a testament to the deep respect and hope for happiness that transcends even the boundaries of life and death. Could you imagine embracing such a poignant ritual? Top 3. The bride snatching tradition in Kyrgyzstan. In Kyrgyzstan, an ancient and controversial tradition of bride snatching persists, evoking both shock and fascination. While modern society condemns forced marriages as a violation of human rights, this custom, once a norm in the region, continues in certain areas, leaving a lasting imprint on the cultural landscape. Historically, Kyrgyz men would literally abduct women, sometimes acquaintances or even strangers, off the streets to force them into marriage. This wasn't a spontaneous act, it was often premeditated, with the groom enlisting male relatives and friends to overpower and capture the bride. Once taken to his home, elder women in the family would persuade or pressure the woman into accepting the marriage, often leaving her with little choice but to comply. Families of the bride would sometimes attempt a rescue. But cultural stigma often meant that if the woman remained in the groom's home for even a short period, her family would feel obligated to agree to the marriage, considering it dishonorable to bring her back. These acts were less about love and more about societal and familial expectations, leaving many women without a voice in their own futures. While Kyrgyzstan outlawed forced marriages in 1994, declaring bride snatching illegal, remnants of the practice linger in rural areas. Some weddings even stage playful enactments of bride snatching, where the couple is already in love, and the performance serves as a nod to tradition rather than a real abduction. For these communities, it's seen as a way to honor their cultural roots and add excitement to the festivities. However, authorities have since banned even the theatrical reenactments, recognizing the blurred lines between performance and reality. Such dramatizations risk confusing law enforcement and undermining efforts to eradicate forced marriages altogether. Bride snatching in Kyrgyzstan remains a polarizing subject, highlighting the tension between preserving cultural heritage and upholding human rights. It's a stark reminder of the struggles faced by women in patriarchal societies and the ongoing need for progress toward equality and respect. What would you think if you were faced with such a tradition? Would you view it as cultural preservation or an outdated relic that needs to be left in the past? Top 2. Spitting on the bride. A Maasai blessing. In the Maasai tribe of Africa, weddings are not just about vows and celebrations. They involve a custom that would leave most outsiders in shock: spitting on the bride. Yes, spitting, an act often seen as distasteful elsewhere, is a profound expression of blessings and good wishes among the Maasai. At a traditional Maasai wedding, the bride, dressed in elaborate tribal attire and adorned with a tiara, becomes the center of attention. Her outfit often includes a layer of fabric or a straw mat wrapped around her body. This isn't just decorative, it serves a practical purpose. To catch the saliva from family elders as they shower her with blessings. The more saliva on the fabric, the greater the blessings bestowed upon her, as the bride prepares to leave her family home and journey to her new life with the groom. Her father and other family elders step forward to perform the unique ritual. They spit on her, not in her face, but onto her clothes and the mat surrounding her. This act, while seemingly bizarre, is deeply symbolic. It represents their heartfelt wishes for a prosperous marriage, a harmonious life, and their acceptance of the groom. In a tribe that values tradition and simplicity, this act is a significant gesture. The Maasai live off the land, relying on hunting and herding for survival. Their customs, deeply rooted in their way of life, reflect their belief in the power of community and family bonds. For them, spitting on the bride is a sacred moment, a way of ensuring the union is blessed by the family and the ancestors. Without this ritual, the wedding cannot proceed. If the bride doesn't receive the elder's spit, it signifies a lack of approval, casting a shadow over the marriage. This is why the Maasai take the ceremony so seriously, ensuring every aspect is carried out with respect and care. While the thought of spitting might make others uncomfortable, in the Maasai culture, it is an act of love, unity, and hope for a bright future. Top 1. The wedding and funeral combo. A French romance. France, the land of love and elegance, has a wedding tradition that's as unique as it is emotional. A simultaneous wedding and funeral. While it may sound contradictory to blend such opposing events, the French have turned this into a poetic symbol of commitment and new beginnings. At the heart of this ritual is a small burial ceremony held just before the wedding. The deceased, in this case, isn't a person but rather a symbolic box containing mementos from the bride or groom's single life. These could be cherished accessories, a favorite toy, or personal trinkets. The act of burying these items represents the end of their carefree singlehood and a promise to embrace the responsibilities of married life. Once the couple starts their family, they return to the burial site with their first child to unearth the box. This moment allows the family to reminisce and share stories, turning the past into a foundation for their future. It's a gesture of love, growth, and the eternal bond that ties the couple and their families together. The French view this ceremony as the epitome of romance. Saying goodbye to one phase of life and stepping boldly into the next symbolizes a deep commitment to their partner. It's a reminder of the shared journey ahead and the responsibilities that come with building a life together. While this tradition may seem unconventional, it beautifully encapsulates the French spirit of blending symbolism, love, and depth into their most cherished moments. For them, what could be more romantic than merging the solemnity of a funeral with the joy of a wedding, creating a truly unforgettable experience? And that wraps up today's journey through the world's most astonishing wedding customs. Which tradition left you speechless? Or do you know of other fascinating wedding rituals? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible stories. Thanks for watching.